Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 live cast. For this one we'll be playing a ladder match on the NA ladder versus a Diamond Terran opponent, MK Prime. Must be an old Marine King fan.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough
Alright, we'll start with
minerals.
the depot and we'll work from there.
Not enough minerals.
I'm on a good server, but my computer seems a little sluggish. Guess I need to reboot. Oh well, I'll have to make do. Alright, doing this gasless fast expand. Much riskier versus all the cheese and TvT, but you do get that command center around quicker.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Alright, bunker, depot.
Command center upgrade complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Alright, let's go ahead and get the engineering bay. And the last marine.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
It's a bunker so close, I'm going to try not putting an SCV on it.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade complete. Add-on complete.
Easy peasy. This is probably the best easy cheese you can do. You proxy your barracks, you build a reactor, you proxy your factory, and you go double gas as soon as you can afford. Like, let's just go over this build order. It's super simple and possibly the easiest way to get wins in TvT. It'll, you know, you can choose your way through the lower leagues very simply with this. And even in Diamond Master League, I'm sure you can win at least 40% of your matches straight up. If you're a good player and you have a follow-up to it, you can probably even transition out in certain scenarios and up that win rate from 40%. Sending out an SCV and building a depot around the same time. Sending an SCV slightly first, building the gas as soon as you can afford it. Proxying the barracks somewhere. As soon as the depot is done, then you have the 150 minerals. Throwing it down. And then you probably take a second gas immediately. Yes, okay, so you take the second gas immediately. You may not be able to afford the orbital with this build. Let's see. I've never tried it myself. As soon as the barracks is done, let's see what he's got. Populating the gas. Barracks completes. And he needs 200 minerals. Yes, he can't get the orbital. But that's okay, because Cyclones are 150 minerals, 150 gas. And he's already bringing in twice as many minerals as gas. So you don't need the orbital for more minerals. You can just kind of get it as you can afford it. So he's going to want to get a factory and a reactor right now. He built this barracks in a dumb place because there's no space for a reactor. That cost him a few seconds. And when you're cheesing, you don't want to be falling behind on seconds. And then he got the orbital. Okay, so you can go orbital before a second depot. That's interesting. I guess he's not building anything, so that's true. You're going orbital, you're not making SCVs, he's obviously not producing any units. Only now does he need 6 supply, and he's got it. The minerals are going to float. Like I said, he's bringing in twice as many minerals as gas, especially now that he has mules. So he should be producing SCVs as well. The things you can be producing with these extra minerals you're going to have is SCVs, supply depots, and eventually a command center. Or if you want to make it more all in, you can pull workers. Because again, if you take half your mineral workers, you're still making enough minerals to pay for the gas to be the bottleneck on double Cyclone. Okay, it's not 150, 150. At some point that changed. Okay, so it's 3-2. So he's got to be bringing, as long as this is over 450, this mineral intake, then he'll have minerals to spare, which means you can pull SCVs, build depots, or make more workers, or make a command center. All sorts of options. This is a little silly place to put the SCV. If I just happen to put like a depot or a turret or something at the edge of my base, I'm going to see that there's SCVs there, which will tip me off. So he pulls 4 workers, but you can see with constant muling from the orbital, that still leaves him well over 450 minerals. So he has minerals to spend, right? He either should pull more workers if he just wants to all in and quit the game, like he did here. May as well make it a more effective all in. Or you need to start producing SCVs and producing a command center. If he's not going to produce SCVs, then he should be sending out more workers, because he has almost double the mineral income necessary. So he lost his SCV and his Cyclone, and I wasn't even microing, so that's not good. Then he attacks again and doesn't bring his SCVs with him. That's not good either. And then his barracks sees the planetary, and yet he runs in range of the planetary. He could have ran his Cyclones over here, and only when he goes around the corner take the shot. But going around that corner, he's going to lose everything. And these SCVs are not on auto repair, so they're attacking the bunker rather than repairing the Cyclone. That went as poorly as possible. And behind that, he was not making workers, so he has this going on, 400 mineral float. So very effective all-in, very poorly executed. I feel like you should be making non-stop workers no matter what with this build. Whether you want to get your mineral income going, so you can transition out by building a command center, or whether you just want to straight up all in. I mean, the more workers you produce, the more minerals you get, and the more workers you produce, the more workers you can pull to assist the all in. You should also nail down the timing to pull workers as well. Which is probably pretty close to the start of the production cycle, right? Like as soon as you start these cyclones, they take 32 seconds. It probably takes around 32 seconds to cross the map. So you start the cyclones and you pull your workers. Or if you want to go with 4 cyclones, when you start the next batch of cyclones, then you pull your workers. You want it to time out well. You want it so that you get as much mining as possible and have them arrive in time so your cyclones aren't waiting for them. So you should be pulling his workers right now. See, now he pulls them at 2:44. And they arrive at 3:16. Is that exactly 32 seconds? That's exactly 32 seconds. Wow, I called that. Okay, so the exact time it takes to build a cyclone is the exact time you should pull your workers. That's really easy to remember. Start your production, pull your workers. Done. Might be better to go with 4. Going with 2 can catch your opponent when he's weaker. Maybe by the time you wait for 4, he has something out that can hold. Also going with 2 might keep him on the defensive, where waiting for 4, you might start losing everything to a Reaper at home. But I still feel like going to 4 is better. It's tough to say because I don't really know how normal Terran plays. I mean, obviously against my bunker, it's better to wait until you have 4. Not only might you catch me off guard, but you're doing double the firepower so you can blow right through the bunker. Maybe I'm doing things like building missile turrets instead of building planetary or a factory or a high ground bunker, because I don't know what's coming. But against a standard Terran, what do they open? 1 or 2 Reapers into Cyclone or Hellion. Expand. Some sort of Stargate unit, starport unit. I think even against that, it's better to wait for 4. I guess it might be good to learn to cheese. Let's just hop in and do his cheese for him. Alright, so sometime before the first one finishes, you want to send your proxy worker. And build the depot.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
And then as soon as we can afford, we're going to build our first gas. So that'd be like now.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply depots required. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Alright, take second gas as soon as we can.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Now we populate that gas. Then we immediately build a factory and a reactor.
Vespene gas.
And then an orbital. And then finally in the next supply depot.
Command center upgrade complete.
Keep the SCV production going.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Then we're just waiting for the gas for the next set.
Not enough minerals.
And we pull.
Not enough minerals.
Then we got a high ground vision. And we got a whole bunch of SCVs on auto repair. And we got cyclones.
Not enough minerals.
And we see our minerals are still staying at a good spot. So I think that's better, right? Alternatively, we pull a whole lot less SCVs, maybe even zero, although I think repair on Cyclones is pretty strong at this point in the game. And we use that extra mineral income to throw down a command center. And now we don't have to win the game, we just have to deal pretty good damage. If we deal pretty good damage, then we gotta transition out of this. You know. If your mom's saying dinner is ready in 10 minutes, then don't worry about the transition, just pull this many workers. And this seems like a lot stronger, right? I pulled workers and I still didn't bottleneck myself on minerals. I still had, by the time I hit 150 gas, I always, or 100 gas, I always had the 150 minerals. And I was able to pull, what was that, 12 workers? That's much better than what he did, cutting workers. And you know, if things go poorly and like you're like, oh, this isn't gonna work and I need to pull back, you pull back and you got you got enough workers to fully saturate your base and to build other stuff. Right? It's always better to have more workers than nothing at all. He chose the nothing at all option. So there we go. We got 4 cyclones. We got our 5th one on the way. Okay, I did lie. We have hit the 100 gas at this point. Don't have the 150 minerals, but that's all right. I don't actually need to keep making more workers at home. If this is going to be a full all-in, then the moment I pull these workers, which is right now, I can cut. Why can't I? Oh. Anyways, I can cut workers at this point. Right, and that'll give me enough for my 5th and 6th cyclone. Or I just pull 1 less worker. How many did I pull? I pulled 11. So if you pull 10, it'll probably be good enough. Anyways, that's 4 cyclones, high ground vision, 12 SCVs, 2 more cyclones on the way, all at 335. And his method of cutting workers right at the start of the game. If I can find this. Oh, wrong button. Every time I jump into the replay, it creates a new replay file. So this is not the one I want to look at. Oh, that's not it. It's Protoss. Hi. All right, where is it? So it's 335 I had. 4 cyclones, high ground vision, 12 SCVs, 5th and 6th on the way. His method. At 335. So the exact same. 335. There's his. He lost 1 cyclone, so there's his 4 cyclones. But he has 4 workers. And about the same number at home that I had. So had he kept making SCVs, he could have had the exact same attack, but with a 12 worker pull. So the idea is to keep making SCVs and only pull them to arrive in time for your 3rd and 4th cyclone. Yeah, it's a very easy cheese to master. You just kind of build things as required. Send out your first SCV before your depot. You build your depot as soon as you can afford. You build your gas, and then your barracks. As soon as you can afford, you build your 2nd gas. You populate them as soon as possible, and then when the barracks finishes, factory and reactor. Then your orbital, your next two supply depots, non-stop SCV production, non-stop Cyclone production. And whenever you want to attack, say it's with the 4 Cyclones, when you start your 4th Cyclone, that's when you send out your SCV pull. And boom, you got a really powerful TvT all in. Anyways, with that, we'll call it the end of this video. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.